Hello, this is Charlie Press from Big Panda Performance. Today I want to talk about doing some dry fire along with your live fire when you're on the range. Now some people may ask, well, why would you dry fire when you have access to shoot when you're on the range able to do some live fire? Well, the answer is, in a match scenario, we're only afforded the opportunity to shoot the stage once. Now we need to build our dry fire skills at a match to be able to replicate a solid live fire performance. That means I need to practice my dry fire performance so it is very realistic and matches my live fire performance. So what I like to do is set up stages such as this that affords me the opportunity to shoot it in a bunch of different ways, that allows me to use different stage plans and actually program those different stage plans. And the best tool to do that programming part, is to dry fire the stage in a realistic manner. Now, in order for us to dry fire the stage in a realistic manner, the number one issue that people have is that they usually dry fire the stage way faster than they would live fire it. It's not uncommon to see people dry fire a stage 50% faster than they would live fire it. Now, if our dry fire performance is 50% faster than our live fire performance, that's going to make us feel like we're behind schedule when we get a chance to actually shoot the stage. So we need to be very cognizant of what we practice and replicate in dry fire, we're going to expect in live fire. So I want to do a realistic dry fire of the stage. That way when I get my one chance to shoot the stage, it's going to be realistic and there's nothing special or unexpected that happens during that. Now, the biggest tool that I like to use to make my dry fire of the stage more realistic is using realistic shooting on the targets from a sound perspective. So I'll give every target a quarter-second split, either verbally out loud or in my head, and that will slow everything down to a more realistic manner. Now, a quarter-second split will sound like this: boom, boom. So if you give every target a boom, 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 that kind of a split, it's going to slow everything down to a more realistic manner. A common mistake that happens with this is when people first start using their boom booms, they start out slow and then they start to speed up and speed up and speed up. So it sounds something like this: boom, 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 boom. And they're going to practice the stage. They're going to dry fire it in a manner that is not realistic to the speed that they're going to shoot it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate 3 different scenarios here. I'm going to figure out what it should be the par time for this stage by walking through it with my shot timer and clicking it at the end. That's going to give me a rough estimate of what the stage time is going to be. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use that par time to dry fire the stage just with my hands. So I'm going to replicate the draw, replicate the transitions, the reload, and all that stuff. And I'm going to see if that matches my initial time. If it doesn't, I'll adjust it up or down to make it more realistic to what I need. Once I feel like that is good, then 3, I'll use my gun to confirm, still in dry fire, but I'm going to do the gun handling stuff. I'm going to draw, point the gun at the targets using my boom booms, do my reload and all that stuff. It's just not going to shoot. So those times should be very similar to one another, whether I'm using my hands, using the gun dry, and then lastly, I'm going to live fire the stage. And when I live fire the stage, all those times should be very close to one another if I'm respecting the dry fire portion as much as I should. Give this a try in your own practice. In the next few videos here, I'm going to go through those different sections of what we're going to practice, figuring out those par times, and then we're going to live fire it at the end. Give this a try. Hopefully this works out for you in your practice and making, more importantly, your match performances way more consistent.
All right, here's our practice stage for today. Give you a big wide pan view here. The stage is set up in a manner that I could shoot a couple different styles of target engagement orders, but I'm going to pick my stage plan. I'm going to start here in the back with my toes touching either side of this fault line like this. So my stage plan is going to be, I'm going to enter the shooting area, I'm going to engage this open target, then this no shoot target. Then I'm going to move down to the middle of the stage, engage this open target, then these steels right to left, do the no shoot target, then this hard cover target. I'm going to back up, do a reload as I come over here, and do these targets right to left. That's going to be the stage plan that I'm going to program and figure out.
All right, now I'm going to dry fire the stage. I'm going to try to figure out the initial par time. So I'm using my shot timer. I'm going to beep it. Now I'm going to dry fire the stage with my hands. And when I get to the last target, I'm on my last boom, boom. I'm going to click the timer, and that's going to give me a time and register, and that's going to be my starting par time for the stage. So let's give that a try. So the start position of the stage is toes touching these back fault lines, hands at sides. We'll give it a try. We'll see how it goes. Are you ready? Stand by. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, bing, 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 bing. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, that gave me a 12:71 as a time. We'll see how that turns out when we live fire it with just our hands. All right, now I've set my shot timer with a par time at 12.7 seconds. I put it on random, that way I can start with my hands at sides. This is going to be my hands dry fire of the stage. We'll see how this goes. Are you ready? Stand by. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, bing, 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 bing. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty right on time. So that means that my dry fire with the timer to start off with was pretty good. And the next time, let's try it with the gun. All right, so this time I'm going to dry fire the stage, but I'm going to use my gun. So I'll make ready for dry, put it in its ready condition minus the magazine in the gun. There's not going to be any bullets in the gun. But I'm going to do my reload and my draw just as I was going to shoot the stage. We'll see how this goes. The par time is still the same at a 12.7 time. We'll see how this goes. Go ahead and make ready for dry. Are you ready? Stand by. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, bing, 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 bing. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. There you go with the gun. I was a little bit behind schedule, but I think I'll end up picking up the shooting speed a little bit during my live fire run. I think the par time's close enough. Let's give it a live fire run and see how it turns out. All right, now I'm going to live fire the stage. I'm going to leave that par time in there just so you have an audible reference to when I get done with shooting the stage, and I'll tell you the stage time after I'm done. We'll give it a try and see how it goes. Make ready. Are you ready? Stand by. Finished, unload show clear, hammer down, holster. All right, so that time is a little bit faster. It ended up being a 12.5, so pretty close, but that's the point of this whole practice. If I were to dry fire the stage and it was a little bit slower than my live fire run, I'm actually prefer that versus it being faster. Anytime you have a dry fire run that is faster than your live fire run, you run into the situation where you feel like you're behind schedule mentally. Anytime we feel like we're behind schedule, we try to rush, and the first thing we do when we rush is we stop aiming. Give this a try in your own practice, see if it works out for you. Hopefully, if you're doing it properly, it'll dramatically increase your consistency at matches.